I thought I'd take a little bit of time to tell you a little bit more about myself. Now, you saw some stuff on the video, but I thought I'd give that some color and some context. My mother is black and Cherokee, and my father's Swedish. And they met in Germany, as it turns out. But I was born and raised in Sweden, which is there. Now, something about Sweden during the time I grew up in this country, okay? Sweden consisted essentially of two groups of people during my childhood. One group was blonde, blue-eyed, and quite reserved. And the other group was me, basically. It's a joke. It's me and my sister. I went to college here, as you heard, and started a magazine on campus called The Catalyst, an interdisciplinary science magazine, which really became the foundation for the book that I later wrote. Now, this whole process inspired me to start a healthcare company based on my aunt's research at Johns Hopkins on pain. And I went off to business school, and I started a software company, which actually did quite well, until it didn't. And then, and then I got an idea for a book. And that idea was based on the notion of intersections. I had seen that whenever I combine ideas from the different industries that I've been in, or from the different cultures in my life, I had a better chance of coming up with something groundbreaking. And I was curious, is this a generalized truth for innovation? And I decided to research that. It took me 3 years, far longer than I ever expected. I was literally down to my last $2.45 in the middle of all of this. In fact, I got married, and I'm here with you. And that's basically my story up until this particular point in time. And what I'm here to talk about today is that diversity drives innovation, the diversity of perspectives. When you reach out and try to collaborate with somebody that is different from yourself, from another business unit, from another country, from another field, or from outside the company, you increase your chances of finding breakthrough ideas. Let me give an example right away what I'm talking about. I got this architect. His name is Mick Pierce. He gets this challenge. He's to build the largest building in Harare, okay, the capital of Zimbabwe. But this building is to contain no air conditioning, which is interesting, because on occasion it gets hot in Zimbabwe. But he manages to do this by combining his field of expertise, architecture, with the field of termite ecology. Okay, now, here's how it works. The termites build these mounds on the African savanna, okay, and they need to keep an exact temperature inside of these mounds in order to grow fungi that helps them digest wood. It's around 87 degrees Fahrenheit, 30, 31 degrees Celsius. So now, how do they manage to do that, though? Because it's kind of tricky. The temperature on the African savanna can drop to 6 degrees Celsius at night and rise to over 40 degrees during the day. So how do they manage to keep an exact 30 degrees Celsius evenly throughout day and night? Well, here's what they do. They build these vents. You can see them at the base of the mound in those pictures. They build these vents at the base of the mound, and then they redirect air breezes into these vents, into a cool pool of mud at the bottom of the mound. Then they circulate this air, and by opening and closing vents constantly, they can regulate the temperature exactly. So Mick Pierce looked at that and said, well, hold on, I can do the same thing for my building, which is what he did. Eastgate is the largest building there. No air conditioning, steady temperature of about 22 degrees Fahrenheit. They saved $4 million right away, not using an AC. And it uses about 90% less energy than any other building around it. Innovative? It's up there. Okay, fine. So you combine ideas to create new ones. But not all idea combinations are created equal. If I tell you I'm going to combine a spider with a web, what do you say? Yeah, I've been done. So what, right? You're not flabbergasted by this innovative potential. But if I tell you I'm going to combine a spider with goat milk, and if there is a connection there, it might be innovative. And in fact, the company Canada took a gene from the golden orb weaver spider, which spins a thread that's about 5 times stronger than steel. They took this gene and inserted it into the DNA of a herd of goats. And they milk the goats, and they take the milk, and they spin threads out of it, which help they can create artificial tendons, stronger fishing lines. I think the amazing thing about people from different cultures is that they can look at them, they can look at exact same thing, even a basic, simple thing, but have different associations about what those things mean. Right? Take the color yellow, which in the US may be associated with cowardice, and in Malaysia, with royalty, and in Venezuela, lucky underwear. But a company that takes advantage of these different perspectives has an advantage in innovation. And this holds true for you as individuals as well. Here's a great story that I recently came across. Aheda Seneti, a woman from Lebanon, moved to Australia. Now in Australia, they have a strong beach culture. In fact, I think 80% of Australia's population live within 50 miles of a beach. Strong beach culture. Now the thing is that this is a picture of Bondi Beach outside of Sydney, and the way people are dressed on Bondi Beach is something like this, which doesn't work if you're of a traditional Muslim faith, in which case you go swimming like this, and that's, just mildly speaking, a bit uncomfortable. and the fact is that most traditional Muslim women will sit on the beach while their husbands and children go around swimming. And so Seneti, with a traditional Muslim background in Australia, said, wait a minute, why don't I combine these two concepts of the burqa and the bikini and come up with the burkini, which is a burqa out of bikini material. Now, how many people do you think would be interested in this? In just a few years, this company has grown like crazy all over the world because they work from an intersection, creating what seems like new and fresh ideas, although after the fact, they may seem obvious. Second, now, it's not always the case. Consider this research study done in 1994, where you have two teams, two culturally diverse teams and homogeneous teams, solving case studies 17 weeks in a row. As you can see, the homogeneous team is way outperforming the diverse team. They got going much faster, they understood the challenge much more easily, they could communicate much better. In the diverse team, by the second week, they've barely gotten past hello. Okay? But as they continue the study, and you may even predict what happens, the homogeneous team performance actually started flattening out. And as soon as the diverse team start to understand how to leverage the diversity, they way outperform, and it's sustained for the rest of the study. I contend that the single most important management skill and leadership quality over the next 50 years is the ability to move that crossover point to the left. The chance of you working with somebody from another culture, from another industry, from another company will increase for every month that goes by. Look, the fact is that if you wish to drive change, then stepping in to an intersection is not risky. It is doing the same thing over and over again. That is. Because the world is connected. Architects connect with termites. And Martin Luther King connects with techno music. Even bikinis connect with burqas. The world is connected. But there's someone making those connections. I think it should be you. Thank you very much.